What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Back to You podcast. This is episode 4. We had a short break. I am in Mallorca currently. Been here since, probably spent about 6 weeks here so far. I usually spend a lot of time over the summer here. I'll be here for another little while. It's beautiful. Life is good. Sun is shining. Experiencing different things, hanging out with friends. It's been a lot of fun. But we are back with another podcast to continually attempt, at least, to educate, inspire, inform how to live your life in a better way, how to have more fun, how to be more you, how to be more fulfilled, how to be more powerful, stronger, everything that you want to be, everything you're destined to be, everything that you already are, in fact. And that's why this podcast is called Back to You, right? Because it's about getting back to you, because you are already everything you are seeking. So we're going to have some fun on these podcasts too. It's not all serious. And this whole stuff shouldn't be serious. This whole journey is not supposed to be serious all the time. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be childlike, because it's getting back to that inner child, right? So we have some cool ideas. I got some amazing guests coming that you will see in future episodes. People who I believe are authentically living at their highest self, or as close as possible to their high self, their truest self. Some incredible people from around the world. So excited to share that with you. We also have some fun ideas. So a couple of suggestions have come my way over the last few weeks, like people wanting different types of podcasts, different types of topics. So one of them, a fun one, is around dating. Just the dating world today is crazy for men and for women, with just so much accessibility, so much temptation, so much, just every day there could be people writing to you from all over the world. I think girls even more so, obviously, as always, but fellas too. Girls are more confident these days, sliding into the DMs and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you to put questions in for this episode, and I'm going to spend a whole episode answering questions. So I've been on a dating podcast before. Some of you might have checked it out. And, with 2 hours talking about my thoughts on dating from the men's perspective, for the women. Some of the questions that have already come in around dating are very interesting. People are having very interesting experiences. So we're going to talk. That's going to be a fun episode. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, make sure you send in your questions. You can send me a DM on Instagram at Aidan O'Brien Official. You can see the links in the description anyway. You can send me an email as well. But any question, if it's fellas and it's about girls, talking to girls, picking up girls, whatever it is, communicating with girls, communicating in your relationship, ladies, if it's about communicating with your fellas, if it's about understanding your fellas, I want all questions coming in, and I will do my best to answer all of them as authentically as possible. But this is going to be a fun episode, so send those questions in, and there's going to be a couple of episodes like that where I'm going to get you guys to contribute and send in your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your questions, and we're going to go from there. So today's episode, what is it about? Well, today we're talking about visualization. A lot of people struggle with visualization, manifesting, law of attraction, all of that stuff. And I have something on my program, on my Ascension program. So my Ascension program is like a mentorship, teaching you everything from the inside out. So how you think, how you speak, how you see yourself, your theater of your mind, your self-image, all the way external to communication, relationships, leadership, business, all that kind of stuff. And the very first thing we do on that program is get people to create a vision for their lives, and then teach them how to visualize it properly, because most people don't know how to visualize properly. And some of the craziest feedback since for the last 2 years through that program is people saying, wow, I had no idea how important creating a clear vision was. I never had a clear vision, and I never knew how to visualize properly. Like, a high percentage of people say that to me all the time. It's been one of the biggest things that's transformed their lives is the vision, because that's what's going to anchor you into the behavior. That's what's going to anchor you into taking action consistently, is the vision. If you're not being pulled by a vision, you're trying to push yourself against the current all the time. You're trying to push yourself uphill. It's exhausting. You want to be pulled by a vision. So today I'm going to give you some tips on that, like how to create a vision and then how to visualize properly, because most people do not visualize properly at all. Okay, now this is all in my program. You should be paying for it. But I'm going to give you some for free here. I'm going to give you a couple of bits and pieces. And if you feel like it's working for you and you're using it and you love it and you want to go deeper, then you should talk to me about my Ascension program or my new program Back to You, because coaching and mentoring, guys, is a game changer. Not just because I'm a coach or a mentor. It doesn't matter if you coach me or someone else, but this is a game changer. That third party accountability, that third party clarity, the ability to have someone to create space and allow you to find new answers by asking you new questions. It's powerful. And when you combine that with mentoring, which is what I do a hybrid. Not always. Sometimes it's pure coaching. Sometimes it's pure mentoring. Oftentimes it's a hybrid because I have so much experience working with hundreds of people from all over the world for the last 15 years and thousands indirectly. I can show you the shortcuts in air quotes, because there's no real shortcuts, but if there is one, I'll show you what it is. So I do a hybrid of coaching and mentoring, and it's a game changer, guys, to be honest. So keep making the same mistakes by yourself, trying to figure it out, walking into the same walls all the time, or get someone to help you, guide you, support you. This is the best investment you can make, is yourself. Everybody invests in bullshit every day. You spend a fortune. If you wrote down all the things you spend money on, don't tell me you can't afford a coach. You can. You absolutely can. It's just not a priority for you. And I always say, I said this on the radio a while back, you're not paying for a coach, you're paying for the outcome. So like, if I said to you, would you pay 3 or 4 or 5,000 euros for a coaching session, or not a coaching session, like for coaching over a period of time? You might say, no, I'm not spending 5,000 on coaching. You're not spending 5,000 on coaching. You're spending 5,000 to have more confidence for the rest of your life. You're spending 5,000 to get clarity on who you are, what you want, what makes you you, who you are in the world, how you navigate through the world. You're paying for that. You're paying to understand why you're angry, or why you're sad, or why you're bitter, or why you're jealous. And you're paying to heal that, to learn how to heal that in yourself. You're paying to have better relationships. You're paying to not get a divorce. You're paying to be a better parent. You're paying to be better in your job. You're paying to make more sales, to create financial freedom. That's what you're paying for. It's not coaching, it's the outcome. And a good coach is going to get you the outcome. And that's what makes me more than a good coach, is I don't care about motivating you. I'm not here to make you feel good. I care about the results. My legacy at this point is about results. What are the results we can get? What are the changes we can implement at last? That's all I care about. I don't actually care about motivating you for a while. That's no good to you, to me, to anybody. Anyway, that being said, let's get into visualization. So first thing, as I said, you have to create a vision. A vision is what's going to pull you forward. You want to be pulled by your vision. So there's 3 things to your vision. Number 1, it has to be clear. My goodness, most people's vision is so vague. They have ideas of what they think they want, but they don't know specifically what they want. Okay, so you have to get very, very clear and specific. They are the first 2 points of the vision, clear and specific. It has to be clear. You have to feel it in your body. You know what you want. It's crystal clear. It's the only way I can describe it. It's just everything is so clear because it's so specific. You know it's for you. And the third part is it's emotionally charged. You can feel it in the body. Okay, so clear, specific, emotionally charged. I think most people, 90% of people say, yeah, I know what I want. I want this. Okay, so when they say I want this, it's like all mental. It's all up here. It's not in the body. They think they want it. Like from the highest, if I'm coming to you from the back to you place, you don't know what you want because you already have it. As Alan Watts so beautifully put it, because you actually do have it. That's for a later episode. I'm always dropping these crumbs throughout the episodes, actually. Some of you will get it depending on where you're at in your journey. Some it'll go over your head. But you actually have everything you're seeking already. Okay? But you have ideas now of what you think you want, right? You think you want this. You don't actually want that, because a lot of the things you think you want are based on who you think you are, but not who you actually are. Because so many times we have a mask on that's an illusion. So you think your identity is who you are within your community, or who you are within your job or your career, or who you are within your relationship, or who you are within your family. A lot of the times we have this identity that's collected from the other people in our life, who people tell us we are, and how we've built our life to reflect that for us to be in our world comfortably, we have to fit into this character that we've now kind of created. And everything in our life mirrors this identity. And for you to act out like incongruent with that would mean you don't fit that identity. So we're always trying to act congruent with our identity, with our beliefs. Always. Because if we don't, we think we're crazy. Because if you do one thing that's incongruent with your identity, people say, what's wrong? Are you okay? It's not like you. Or you'd say, wow, what was I thinking? And sometimes we do these actions unconsciously, and you look back like, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? That's a sign that your higher self is trying to get you back in alignment with who you actually are. Okay, so there's all these different aspects of your life that are mirroring the identity that you've created. And for you to feel sane, you're always behaving to stay within that identity, within that reflection of what's been created. So remember I said why coaching is helpful? Like, how are you supposed to figure this shit out by yourself? You can't. It's very difficult, Like, I spent 15 years plus studying, exploring, living, breathing, eating this stuff. And I'm still having breakthroughs day on day. And I have coaching and mentoring, and I invest a lot of money to continually develop and learn and explore. It's very difficult to do this by yourself, guys. And again, by yourself, it's just mostly illusion, because you're only telling yourself what you want to hear. You're only telling yourself what's in the realm of your existing beliefs. It's very difficult to tell yourself something outside of what you believe, because your brain's not looking for it. It doesn't want to see it. Okay, so when we get clear on this vision, you want to get clear, you want to get specific, meaning details. So, for example, I'm going to give you some of the shallow, superficial, obvious things that we all start with. And as we graduate through this podcast and into my book, and some of you will join me on my Back to You program, we will go way past this into the higher level of consciousness to what's really important. But I understand there's people at different stages of their journey, and they still think they want the car, the house, blah, blah, blah. And it's okay to want those things. To need them is a different thing. That's a different conversation. But let's say you have a vision of a certain quality of life, okay? So what we do on the program is we'd have you design a day in the life of your life 3, 4, 5 years from now. So basically, you want to send me a schedule of how you want your day to look in 3 to 5 years. So that means, what time do you wake up in the morning? What's your morning routine? Where are you living? What do you do? Who's with you? Into the afternoon, what does your day look like? What kind of work are you doing? Where are you working? Are you working from home? Are you working in an office? How much money do you earn? What's your kind of focus on a daily basis? Is it career based? Is it family based? Is it a health based in your wellness? Like, what are you focused on? Where is your attention? Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Do you have kids? Whatever it is. How many holidays do you take a year? Where are you living? All of this detail. What kind of car you have? What kind of dog you have? What kind of cat you have? What's the weather like where you live? You want to get super clear, because you want to start to really imagine this and feel it in the body. Now, the third part, being emotionally charged, if it's not emotionally charged, that's just up here in the head. Oh, I'd love that car. I'd love a Range Rover. Oh, I'd love this. I'd love that. That's just mental. Okay, that's what you think you want. That's illusion. It's not heart-based. You have to feel it in your body, because otherwise it's ego. It's not really yours. Whereas there's something you feel in your heart, that's actually already yours. You feel it in your heart. It's already yours. It's destined for you. You just have to remove the things to allow yourself to receive it. You have to remove the blocks. Like they say that about love. You don't need to ask for love. You need to ask to let go of all the things that are blocking love. And it's the same with everything. You don't need to ask to get this. You need to remove the things that are blocking that thing that's already yours. Because on the highest level of awareness, highest level of consciousness, everything you're seeking is seeking you, because it's yours already. It's very hard for me not to go too deep into this. I'm trying to keep it back here, not overwhelm you too soon. But so think about your vision for your life. How do you want your life to look 3 to 5 years? What's your vision look like? Detailed, clear, specific, and emotionally charged. In network marketing, some of the great mentors I've had years ago when I was doing network marketing, they said, like, have a why that moves you. I think it was Jeff Roberti who said that. Have a why that moves you. And it's like a why that's emotionally charged. Something that if you cry, it's even better. If you cry, it's even better. It moves you, it pulls you. Okay? So I want you to think about that today. I want you to think about what's your vision now, currently, what was it before, and what kind of vision are you going to create? Have you been specific enough? Have you been clear enough? Have you been emotionally charged enough? I'd guess you haven't. Because every single client that comes to me, they don't have a vision. If I stop 10 people on the street, what's your vision? They don't know. And a vision is different than a dream. A dream, again, is just a wish, a fancy. A vision is something that's you're going to work towards, okay, that you're going to take action towards. So, excuse me, I have so many things in my head right now that I want to share, and I'm trying to not say too much. So that's the vision. Spend a bit of time on that. Take a couple of days to think about that. You heard about a vision board. You saw probably one of my clips there on YouTube or on Instagram about an accomplishment board. That's a different situation. I encourage everybody to do an accomplishment board because it's about validating yourself. It's about celebrating your wins. It's about owning your wins. That's so important. So at the same time you do a vision board, you also want to be doing an accomplishment board where you acknowledge yourself. You celebrate yourself. Because as soon as you need validation from someone else, you've lost your power. Okay? So that's how you create your vision. That's a very basic, simple overview of it. I encourage you to go and do that. Okay, let me know if you've done it. Let me know. DM me on Instagram at Aidan O'Brien Official. You can send me an email, info@aidanobrien.com. All the information is there and the links on my website as well. You can message me. So I'd encourage all of you to do that. Everybody should have a vision. And I want you to level up your vision. I want you to think a bit bigger because there's actually no limits when you're coming from the heart. There's no limits. When you're coming from what you actually want, there's no limits. The limits come from the mind. Because your heart won't allow you to have something as in a vision that you're not ready to achieve. Let me say that again. Your heart won't allow you to have something in your vision that's not possible for you, that you're not capable of. Your mind will. Your mind can tell you can build a spaceship if it wants to. Doesn't mean it's true. But your heart will tell you, okay, this is for me. This is what I'm capable of. And your heart doesn't have limits. It's only your mind that has limits. Your mind has the fear and the ego and the doubt and the insecurity. Your heart has none of that. Okay? So that's how you create your vision. The second part then is the visualization. And so many people don't know how to visualize. And, you can even come at this from a neuroscience point of view, which I do a little bit because I've been studying neuroscience for a couple of years, taking some courses on it. Read a lot of books on it. And the thing about neuroscience is now, for all the skeptics, neuroscience shows what a lot of what people have been saying for hundreds of years or longer. Science now proves it correct, And the thing about the brain is that it learns through insights, flashes of inspiration. It learns through repetition. It learns through deep levels of visualization. Deep levels of visualization. So what that means is not just thinking, oh, I'd like that, I want that. Deep levels of visualization is when you immerse yourself completely, when you engage all of your senses, when you touch it, taste it, smell it, feel it, hear it. You're literally watching a movie in your mind. That's why Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, I've talked about this book a million times, one of my favorite books of all time. The original for me. Maybe there's ones before that, but this was the one for me. It was written in 1960. He was a plastic surgeon, and he talked about self-image, the theater of the mind. He was the first guy talking about if you don't shift your identity, you can shift your behaviors. I know Atomic Habits, James Clear gets a lot of credit for this kind of stuff now, but for me, the OGs, the originals, they were the first ones talking about this stuff. And I actually don't believe in habits anymore. That's for a different podcast. I know that's going to be controversial, but before you judge, hear me out. Because as you go through levels of awareness, it goes beyond habits, it goes beyond discipline. That's again at a certain level. But when you're very aware of who you are and what you want, and that's what we're doing on this Back to You program. Once you're super aware in every moment, you just choose what's best for you. You just choose the right thing. You don't need discipline. Discipline is when you're asleep, actually. But that's for another day. I digress. So Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz talks about the theater of the mind, how you see yourself in your mind, how you see your life in your mind. And this is what your visualization needs to be. You need to be in a deep level of visualization. You need to immerse all your senses. You need to think, and in your mind, see everything playing out as you imagined it. And again, if you don't feel it in your body, if it's just mental, that's just an ego vision. It's not really for you. If it's in your heart, it moves you, it makes you emotional, you feel a pull towards it, you feel a magnetic pull. And when you immerse yourself, you can easily engage all of your senses. You can really feel it, you can touch it, you can taste it, even as Neville Goddard, who's one of my favorite speakers of all time, he did a lot of talks in the 30s and 40s, he was a devout Christian, then really began to understand the metaphysicality of the Bible, like the metaphysics of God and the Bible and how you interpret it. And he goes even further. He talks about imagining your friends talking about you and saying the things that would represent you living that life already. So for example, if you had this amazing, you wanted a relationship, let's say, you wanted a marriage, a happy marriage and kids, you'd imagine your friends telling someone Aidan's so happily married and he has these 3 beautiful children, and we're going to Aidan's child's birthday party, or we're going to this wedding here. You see, so you'd imagine your friend's conversation about that. Or did you hear Aidan got this new job? Or did you hear Aidan started this new business? Did you hear Aidan broke this record? Did you hear Aidan, whatever it is. So insert your name and imagine your friends talking about, and people talking about you, and feel what that feels like. So that's the level he goes to. So that's, your brain learns that, and your brain doesn't know what's real and what's imagined. So the deeper and the more you can engage all your senses, the more it feels real. What happens then, people think, it's law of attraction, it's going to magically attract. No, that's not the point. That's not how it works. How it works is when you begin to feel what that feels like, and you engage all your senses and you immerse yourself completely in it, you feel differently. And you've heard me talk, if you're following me for a while, you hear me talk about this a lot. Before actions come feelings. If you feel like doing something, you do it. If you don't, you don't. So when you get into this deep level of visualization, and your vision is clear, specific, emotionally charged, and you feel what it feels like to have that, and you do it first thing in the morning when your brain waves are in a theta state and you can, in receiving mode, the walls are down, and you do it the last thing at night, and you sprinkle it throughout your day, and you feel what this feels like, and you think and speak as if it's already the case. Your feeling is different, and when your feeling is different, you will make different choices. For example, when you feel like going for a run or working out, you do it, right? Because you feel different, you feel good, you work out. You feel like picking up the phone, making a sales call, you do it. You feel like being a better boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, you do it. You feel like communicating better in the world, you do it. Whenever you feel a certain way, your actions tend to match that. So when you can immerse yourself in this deep level of visualization, and you completely immerse yourself and you feel it, your feelings change, which means now you're choosing from a different place. You're choosing from this feeling. And life compounds, life accumulates. So when you choose even little tiny things over a period of time from a certain place, what you attract, what you receive will be in alignment with that feeling. If I could drop this mic, I would. That's how simple and mind-blowing this stuff is. That's the real law of attraction. You're choosing from this feeling. You're acting from that place. And when you're acting from that place, now you're more likely to receive that. Now you make choices and you put yourself in situations, in places, at events where all of these things can happen, where they can manifest, where the connections can be made and the introductions can be made and the conversations can happen. But it starts when you're clear on your vision, because right now you're acting, choosing, making choices from a place of illusion. You're choosing from your mind, you're choosing from survival, just getting through the day, getting through the week, getting through the month. You're not clear on your vision. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you want to be. You just have ideas of who you think you are and who you think you want to be and what you think you want. And it's an illusion because you're up in the head. And it's based on who people tell you are, not who you actually are. And it's based on who you've come to believe you are, not who you actually are. So what we do in my programs, we clear away all that shit, because it is. We clear away all that stuff, that crap you don't need. We clear away all those old beliefs, all those old patterns. We help you identify what's really you and what's not you. And then we create that new vision from there, and then we implement and execute on that from that place, from that feeling. And that's how you create your life. That's how you live from a place of love and trust, and not from fear and doubt and insecurity. That's the real law of attraction. That's real visualization. You have to immerse yourself. You have to get deep into it. You have to feel it. And that's why sometimes people confuse, meditation and visualization. They should be done separately. Meditation is when you'll receive the answers. When you meditate in silence, that's when you can receive. But the visualization is that immersing yourself, tricking the brain into that you live that way, that you have that life, that you feel that way already. Because again, the brain doesn't know if it's really happening. It's like a dream. How many times you dream at night, you think it really happened, you wake up like that was so real. You experienced it. Well, you can do that in the waking state. Okay, now your human imagination, Neville Goddard talked about, that's God in you. Jesus Christ, that Christ consciousness is the human imagination. That power to create, because everything in the world that's not green or water or nature was created twice, first in the mind and then externally. I think one piece they're missing, there's a lot of guys, just teachers, and they all believe the imagination. Even Einstein said this, that imagination is more important than anything else. It's more important than knowledge, even, he said. But I think the one missing piece is once you combine the imagination with the heart, that's the key. Getting into the heart, into your body, because I believe your body has all the wisdom. It's just we are so separated, so disconnected from our body now, that we can't listen to it. We can't hear it. We're stuck in the mind. And it's such a short distance from here to here. So for those listening, it's from your forehead to your chest, to your heart. And, I'm always trying to shorten this journey. It's a short one, and it's the longest journey in the world, to get out of the head, out of the mind, into the heart. How many of you can agree with that? Right? Get out of your head, to stop thinking. But everything we're doing, like this world creates so much separation from ourselves. We're stuck. Everyone's stuck in the head, and they're all on the phones or on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. It's all head, and then creating this effect in the body, this feeling of dopamine in the body, and this feeling of short-term pleasure from a like or a follow or a comment or watching a show or eating or buying something or attention here, whatever. And again, it's this shallow short-term connection, giving us short-term hits instead of actually really getting clear on who we are on the deepest level of our being, understanding what makes us us, understanding our bodies, keeping our bodies healthy, and being able to listen to what makes us truly fulfilled, happy, alive, in alignment. Because when you're back to you, when you're in communication with this higher self, everything is easier, because there's no fear, there's no doubt, there's no insecurity, it's pure trust. It's really beautiful. And I've only experienced it at times, and I do at times. The journey is to get there more and more, to get to that place more and more. That's the work, that's the path we have to walk now. We don't arrive there and we just suddenly we're a monk and we can sit down and everything is, no. We want to live in this life. We want to interact in this world. We want to enjoy this world. We want to enjoy material things and physical things. But we want to do it from a place of awareness, a place of trust, a place of truth, where we know who we are. We're not doing anything for anybody else, not for our parents, our partners, our kids. We do it for ourselves. And once we do that from that highest place, everything else is better. Our relationships are better. Our jobs are better. Our business is better. Everything is better. So we want to get out of the mind, into the body. We want to use our imagination with our heart, with our body, in connection. That's the missing piece. Using your imagination, connecting with the body, what feels good, what feels right. Once we do that, we can access everything that's there for us. And there's so much more there for us than we even know. And we just can't hear it because we have blocks. Okay, so my mission is to help you understand these blocks and what they are, because it's easy to read about them and read about these quotes on Instagram and these great pages who talk about these things. But it's a different thing to understand them. I want you to understand them. And I've gone through this journey to understand them, to figure them out, and hopefully articulate that better back to you so you can understand it in a real way. It was like my video on ayahuasca. Like, a lot of people wrote to me and continue to write to me saying, wow, that was the first video that I ever felt I really understood ayahuasca. Some people wrote to me who said, first time I can share a video with someone that will actually explain it or do it justice, or, give accurate information to the best of our ability, to give an interpretation of what it is. So my goal is to always try and articulate things and simplify things so that you understand them. All that matters is that you understand them, that your awareness and knowledge goes up so you can make new choices. It's all great reading something and then you don't understand what it means, or it doesn't resonate because it goes over your head. That's no good to you. So that's why we're here. That's what we're going to do, continue to do. If you like this stuff, you like this episode, please like the podcast. Give it a review if it's on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're watching this or listening. Give it a review. Give it a like. Share with some friends if you find it interesting. Love to hear from you. Send me a DM. Instagram, Aidan O'Brien Official. You can email me, info@theaidenobrien.com. Continue to tune in. We have lots of content coming, lots more videos. There's lots of reels up on Instagram as well, short little clips talking about different things, bite size. And I encourage you to listen to some of these podcasts over and over again. Like when you're going for a walk, listen to it again, because you'll miss something the first time, because you'll be thinking about what I said and then you'll tune out and you'll miss something. or then what you do here, you won't get it on a deep of a level as you will the second or third time, because you're changing, evolving all the time. So when you're going for a walk, you're on the treadmill, you're in the gym, throw it in again, have a listen. I guarantee you something else will hit you the second or third time. I promise you. So that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to send in your questions about all things dating. And there's nothing off limits here, guys. You can go as wild and as free as you want to be. Send me everything. I'm looking forward to recording that episode. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.